Hey y'all. So this video has been something that I've been wanting to do for a while and I kept procrastinating. And today I finally got an email, spoiler alert, that gave me the proper motivation to finally get this completed and get it uploaded. So this is going to be a state of the channel video. I'm going to talk a little bit about where I came from, about where the channel is now. And by channel, I mean really channels. I'm talking about my YouTube, my Twitch, and my music, and about my goals, or where do I want to take this. So if you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome. Let me give you a little bit of background about where I came from. My name is Nick, obviously, and the makes noise part is I am a composer. I make music. So far, most of the music that I have released sounds very synthy and very electronic, but I also dabble in other styles. I also do some classical and I do some rock and metal. I've been making music for about 6 or 7 years as a solo composer. I was in a couple of bands before that. I'm not going to get into that now, maybe in a future video or somewhere else. Where can you hear my work? Well, unfortunately, quite frankly, I lost count of the number of video games that I worked on that never came out, never materialized. It's a long list, and I've got some really strange and bizarre stories about some of them, and who knows, maybe one day they'll come out on stream. We'll see. It was that string of working on games that never came out that led me to want to publish something. And so that's how this Shadows and Beacons materialized. Shadows and Beacons was mostly made of material for games that never came out, or they started life as like a fragment. So, like for example, like if a game developer said they didn't really fully know what they wanted, then I would create some feeler tracks. You know, like, hey, tell me what vibe works with you. Is it this one, this one, or this one? And sometimes they choose this one, and then I have a couple of fragments, and those just kind of sit in a folder, and sometimes they get developed. All my songs are different. But if you go to nickmakesnoise.bandcamp.com and you click on each of these song descriptions, there's a little blurb about each one. So after I released Shadows and Beacons in 2020, I confess I was a little burned out. It took a lot more out of me than I really expected. Even though it was super satisfying to finally get some sort of to get something published, to get something out there. As a creative person, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to get paid, and I did get paid for some of the work that I did. But you want your stuff to be heard, right? I mean, it's the whole reason why you make things. You want people to see it. You hope people enjoy it. During the process of making Shadows and Beacons, I was playing a game called Hunt Showdown, which chances are, if you've landed on my channel, either of my channels, the YouTube or the Twitch, you've seen me playing it at some point. Hunt Showdown's first Twitch drops event is what brought me to Twitch really for the first time. I had sort of dabbled a little bit many years ago, but not really. I was hanging out in various streamers' rooms. I'll list them off because, quite frankly, they helped keep me sane. I was hanging out in Average Joe's, Psycho Ghost, Nino, and eventually it branched off into others as well. When the album was done, and I didn't have anything on the schedule, I decided I wanted to try something a little different. Twitch looked like fun. I did very briefly work for a radio company, a large one. I ultimately decided to leave radio because I couldn't see myself being creative in that medium. I just didn't think it was going to work out for me. But Twitch is pretty much the same muscles as radio. I was like, you know what, this looks like fun. So I decided I was going to try it. And not everything went smoothly. in fact, quite frankly, a lot of it went very poorly. And some of y'all stuck with me through all those freaking horrendous early videos. Some of them are even early quality. In fact, my first hunt video, which for now is still on my channel, and I'm on the fence about whether I should keep it there. The resolution is so bad and so pixelated. I actually took it off of my hunt highlights on YouTube playlist because it's kind of embarrassing for me to look at right now. I may at some point unpublish it. I don't know. I've been on the fence with that. But look, I decided when I jumped in that my goal for the first year that I'm going to do this, and I started I want to say late November, early December ish. I made a commitment to myself that it's like I just want for the first year, I just want to get better at this. If I stream to no one, if no one comes to my YouTube, it's fine. I'm going to do this for a year and let me see if I can get good at this. Let me see if I can learn how to do this. And that still is my goal. I mean, as of now, it's May, so I've been doing this for roughly 6 months. I would say there is definitely a noticeable improvement in quality as time has gone on. Still a few hiccups every now and again. For example, I mean, you can see right now, like, I mean, my lighting and like the camera quality is pretty good, but it could definitely be better. So, with that, let's talk a little bit about where the channels are now. Currently, I'm sitting at 16 subscribers on YouTube and about 51 followers on Twitch. Not exactly mind-blowing numbers, right? But that's okay. I look, when I said that I wanted to just get better, I meant it. So the fact that I got any sort of a following at all still kind of continues to amaze me a little bit. It's very encouraging, and I'm glad because I don't I don't know what my mental state would be if I had gotten like no feedback and no traction, but I've gotten a little bit, and I'm very grateful. I can't emphasize enough. I am super grateful to everyone who stuck around with me in the early days when I started doing this. I will mention two people in particular that I saw more often in my chat than anyone else. That's Carbini and Whiskey Nitro. Y'all two are in just about every one of my streams, and I really appreciate when you participate and when you just lurk. And that goes to anybody, by the way. If you can't participate, that's totally fine. Everything helps. Everything helps. So my Twitch is going to stay on a regular schedule. That being said, my day job has already told me that all this working from home that you've been doing, yeah, that's not going to be a thing going forward. You're going to start coming back in, which means now I have to commute again. Now I'm going to have to, make my lunch in the morning. I'm going to have to wake up earlier, which means I need to go to sleep earlier, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not so naive as to think that this isn't going to cut into my Twitch time. It's definitely going to cut into my viewing time when I hang out in other people's channels, and that really bums me out. But hey, I'm going to do my best to adapt. My current plan is to try to maintain my schedule as is, but understand that at some point, my schedule times may have to change. That's just going to have to be how it goes. My current Twitch schedule is every Monday night. I usually start at 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. If I can start earlier, I do. It's also every Thursday night. Again, 7:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. And I schedule myself to end at around 9:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time. But lately, I've been going later. I've been going about 10:30 and sometimes even 11 o'clock. If you want to see what the current schedule is, just make sure you check the schedule of my Twitch page. I am going to try to keep that current. If I'm going to end up taking time off from Twitch for like a family vacation or something, then I'm going to try to give a heads up in the description there. I'm going to try to manage everything there. As far as music is concerned, yes, there will be another solo album. I am working on it now. My plans for this, I'm not really ready to talk about publicly just yet. I definitely want it to be different than Shadows and Beacons. I don't really want to say how just yet because I don't know how this project is going to morph. I'm going to try to let this one breathe a little bit. Shadows and Beacons, I gave myself a hard deadline. With this project, I am not going to put that leash on myself just yet. There will come a time where I will set a date, but that time's not now. This is still very much early development. So I mentioned at the start of this video that it was an email that prompted me to finally make this video, and it pertained to the present section. So let me just go ahead and make that announcement now. I got an email from Twitch telling me that I qualify for affiliate. That's a nice little milestone for me. I did not expect it. I really thought that I would probably take like a year or maybe more, and it'd be a lot of empty rooms. And you all have helped ensure that that did not happen. I'm actually growing faster than I expected. Very, very pleasant surprise. And it really put a smile on my face this morning. It's not my end goal, but it was a goal, and it was reached far faster than I ever expected, frankly. So, big thank you from me to you, and we're going to keep going. And with that, let's roll into the future section. What are my goals? What am I trying to do here? Are you trying to be a full time content creator? Yes. I would love to be creative for a living on Twitch, YouTube, and with my music. Even if I became like really big on Twitch, I'm not giving up making music. I love doing it too much. So, but I'm also having a ton of fun, way more fun than I thought I ever would on Twitch. I have met so many cool people on Twitch. Two of them I will mention very specifically now, Ifrit and Jessica. Quite frankly, they were a huge part of me becoming an affiliate on Twitch. And without their support, it definitely wouldn't have happened this fast. It's not just their support, by the way. Like they're good people. There aren't enough good people on the internet, and I'm really glad that I met them. So, with that being stated, I am holding to my original goal when I first started this. I'm not paying too much attention to the numbers. Don't get me wrong. Yes, of course, I look at them every now and again. And yes, I get encouraged when I see them go up, however small it might be. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. It does make me feel good. But I'm not going to set a number goal for myself this year. I'm just not going to do it. I'm continuing with the goal that I set for myself when I first started streaming. I want to get better at it. I want to get better at Twitch. I want to get better at YouTube. And I want to get better at making music. I want to get better at all three of those things. And that's going to be what I continue to do for the rest of 2021. So, what can you expect on those channels going forward? Well, there's going to be a lot more Hunt. Hunt Showdown is still a huge force on my channel, and a lot of thanks, by the way, to Solid Light, Nap Customs, and Jackson. They have been a huge part in me playing Hunt Showdown on console, and I am very, very thankful to them. Not only for just being friends with me, that can be a full-time job in itself sometimes, but for being cool teammates that help make that game the fun experience that it is. I know that Gloomhaven has released a couple of patches since I last touched it, so I imagine at some point I will return to that just to poke around a little bit. Unfortunately, that is on PC, and that has been a bit of a problem. I guess I can go ahead and talk about that now. Currently, I can stream just about anything off of my console with no issues. Streaming anything off of my PC is a little problematic, and it's because I have an old 1050 Ti graphics card, and nobody has graphics cards in stock. That's not exactly news to anyone in the PC world. I'm looking into options. I don't have an unlimited budget, so it's kind of a wait and see sort of deal. It is my goal to eventually be able to stream Hunt on PC as well. I'm working on it. I don't know how long that's going to take. Hopefully that gets resolved this year. But as far as gaming is concerned, we'll get back to that. I've been doing some West of Dead on stream. I think I'm going to be doing more of that. I'm having a lot of fun. I started a playthrough of New Vegas. That's been a lot of fun. You can expect more of that. One quick note, by the way, just because a game appears on my Twitch does not necessarily mean it's going to appear on my YouTube, and vice versa is also true. Just because something appears on my YouTube doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to stream it on my Twitch. And keep in mind, while my Twitch has a schedule, my YouTube does not. My official YouTube policy is it's not going to be numbers based. YouTube videos are ready when they're ready. If I feel like I have something I want to bring to it, then I bring it to you when it's done. If I ever go full time, I might consider setting, a hard deadline or a hard number saying, okay, I'm definitely going to do X amount, but that's not the point that I'm at now. I would not expect anything from me musically in 2021. So, but it is being worked on, just very early phases. So anyway, that is it for me. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I want to thank my family for being very, very supportive of me in this whole process. Part of the reason why I married my wife is because just about every crazy idea I've ever had, she's very rarely tried to strike one down. She's shot me some sideways glances before, don't get me wrong. But she's been very supportive, and she's put up with a lot of nonsense on the way. Also with my kids, they've also been very supportive of this whole thing. Everybody who I want to thank for helping me get to this point. Solid Light, Nap Customs, Jackson, aka Whiskey Nitro. They're my hunt. They're my hunt teammates. They're my regulars. And if they didn't play that with me, then I wouldn't have taken this journey into Twitch in the first place. Again, Carbini and Whiskey Nitro again for hanging out in some of those early streams that were really, really rough. And Ifrit and Jessica, who really, really helped, bring some people to my stream who certainly had not heard of me before then. And again, just for being just really cool people, everybody who I just mentioned. I'm really lucky to have all of you in my life. I hope to bring you more from them as well. It's a team effort. When you play a team game, it's a team effort, right? So, but that being said, I'm still going to do some single player stuff. I'm going to do single player and multiplayer. This video is already too long. All right, that's it for me. Thank you again. Bye, y'all.